Hey, reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Hey, this is Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. Hey, we're live. We told you we'd be here. We advertised it, and here we are. You guys wanted us to do a live feed. We're here. How's everyone doing? If you're just chiming in, I am in the Bat Cave, aka my garage, because my wife is doing stuff in the living room and she kicked me into the garage. So but yeah, we're live on the air, and if you want to ask us questions about our ghost hunt, you can put them in the comment section below. We're basically going to be talking about our investigations for 2022, all the different sites that we went to, and some of the things that we went. Hey, I see Miss Channing. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
So we're going to be chatting about all the different sites that we went to, and it was a crazy year.
It was a crazy year. Hey, what's up, Shelly? It was a crazy year, and not diving headfirst into it yet. We got some stuff to talk about for next year as well. That's huge, huge. We're not jumping into that yet, though. So yeah, man. What do you want? Where do you want to go first?
Oh gosh, Cherokee Strip Museum. I think that was a great investigation. I really had a blast with that one.
That was good. We had a lot of activity, more than normal, which was weird, but good.
Oh yeah, got stuff on the Connect Cam. A lot of spirit box activity.
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy. What was your guys' favorite part of the Cherokee Strip Museum?
Hey, everybody.
Well, when we first got there, the thing is when we were just setting up, we had high activity before we could even go live, before we could even do anything. And there was those kids I was playing hide and seek with and dancing with, and then they were concerned about someone's arm being hurt, and that was just like all while we were just getting ready, and we didn't even start, and that was the neatest thing to me. So
I think for me it was a lot of the residual activity that we were getting. Doctor and nurse and gurneys moving up and down the hall, and then we had that interaction with the pregnant woman there by the nursery.
Oh yeah,
where we crossed her over. So
I found it interesting. We had the one entity that kept trying to run out the back door.
Yeah,
it was all residual, but it was interesting to get those responses of somebody trying to run out the side. I guess it's more of a side door, and then like other entities trying to prevent them from going out the door. I thought that was pretty wild.
Right, but this side door though that he's talking about is on the second level. So if you were to go out this door, you're gonna drop. So, but that was, you're right. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty wild. Cherokee Strip, by the way, just for all of our viewers that are watching, is, if I'm not mistaken, the third most haunted place in the state of Oklahoma. So, pretty big deal. It's cool. It's one of our favorite places to go. Probably visit it again soonish, maybe. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun just to go to look around first. It's worth the trip, but yeah, it's very spooky when all the lights are out.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would y'all rank that as far as like your favorite investigations that you've been on so far with us?
Okay, so that I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, that would be, as far as activity wise, that would be a 10 for me, just because of the early on with me and the kids, that not a lot of people got to see it, but we got to see it happening. So that to me, that was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome.
I'd have to say a 7, and it's just because I think the first time we went there we didn't get as much activity, and then that last time we went there we got a lot more activity.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, Carmen? What's up, Blake? What about you, man? What do you rate it?
I would say a 7 for a haunt. Hey, Linda. Hey. Hey. Yeah, I think that's a cool site. We gotten all kinds of like EVPs out of there from people speaking German. There's a huge German section in there, and it's not the first time we ever got German EVPs out of there. Most of the time, they're kind of too hard to understand what they're saying. But yeah, I would say that would be a definite 7.
Absolutely. Hey, Jennifer.
Oh, I got somebody else wanting to chime in. Hold on. Miss Willow. Whee, Willow.
We just got back from the appointment, so
Oh,
we're a
okay.
little late.
She's got the red light. She's got the red light going on.
Himalayan pink salt. Hey.
So to everybody that's just joining us, team-wise and viewer-wise, you haven't missed much. We're just sitting here kind of shooting the hay, talking about just some of our investigations. We were talking a little bit about Cherokee Strip. That was one of our investigations that we did earlier this year. That's a cool place. Again, just the people that just joined us, the 3rd most haunted place in the state of Oklahoma. We've done a lot this year. I'm actually just trying to go through my head right now to remember what we've done.
I know it's so much that we had a lot of cases this year. It's been kind of crazy.
We have had.
The one in Kansas.
Oh yeah, Cowtown.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that case because it's a paranormal unity case. We got to work with RIP Paranormal, our family down in Texas, and then our Kansas family. Man, that was great. That was a wild investigation. The most crazy part, I think, of that investigation, me and Greg sorry, people are chiming in here. We went into an area of the museum that we never went before, and it was an area where unfortunately somebody committed suicide, and we locked ourselves in that place and started asking questions, and literally the entity like pulled my contact out of my eye, and it just like disappeared, and then we finally found it again, and it was just kind of hanging off my shirt, but we were like checking all over me and couldn't find it. But just a weird experience. It literally felt like somebody's fingers were like in my eye. It was just I gotta say, for creep level, that was the creepiest thing I ever had to do.
They actually asked me afterwards. They asked me after the fact, like, "Hey, you wanna go in there?" No, I politely declined. That is not for me. So, I don't want no part of that.
But we went to Daniel's favorite spot at Cowtown, and everybody knows what that is.
Oh Lord.
Brothel.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to a gunfight with a spirit,
So,
you know.
So looking forward to going back. Not diving into that yet, but looking forward to going back up there. I'm all about. I'm trying to make this not sound weird. I'm all about the brothels. You know what I'm saying?
And they're all about you, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
They
That
are.
ain't no joke. That's a big fact right there.
It is. Everybody, it is true. They all love Daniel, and they all want to get with Daniel. That's all. I mean, like, seriously, that's not an exaggeration. That's probably an under exaggeration.
Well, I find it amazing though. Anytime we go to a haunted brothel, Daniel just knows how to get the spirits to talk. We use a lot of trigger items, from money to bottles of closed whiskey, and you'd be surprised how these spirits will intertwine. You definitely have to tell your experience. Well, no, we'll get to that later. We'll stick to Cowtown. I don't want to jump the gun here to Gransbury quite yet, but just sticking with Cowtown. Daniel got into a spiritual shootout with one of the Earp brothers.
that was one of the wildest. That was one of the wildest things I promise you that I've ever been a part of. I've never had a gunfight with a ghost. That was wild. That was absolutely insane. And I don't know if you've ever seen like a Western movie where you can hear like the pew 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 of the bullets. That was coming through the spirit box. That was insane. But yeah, he called me to go out in the street, and then I got other members of other teams walking by me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
So That was fun. That was fun. Don't go up there and get in a fight with a ghost cowboy.
Right. Especially if it's one of the Earp brothers.
Well, the thing is it's like when you actually like go to like, for instance, this brothel, it's like everything that comes over the spirit box or anything is all brothel related. And like each, different part you go to, it's like completely different language. So it's not, that's what makes it not so random. It's very specific to that exact location. Elizabeth and I was flattered, but we even were asked to prostitute ourselves if we wanted to work for the brothel. So but it's very neat.
Yeah, it's just amazing how much activity we get out of there. Yeah, that was a good spot there. Now, anyone that's never been to Cowtown, it's literally an old west town. The whole museum has several different buildings, so you can go out there with just more than one team. You can take several teams out there, and you can literally spend all day talking with spirits. There's a lot of different locations out there. One of the it's the dentist office. I think me and Greg from RIP finally got the ID or the ghost's name of the soldier. We kept getting this response from a soldier. He seemed like he only wanted to talk to Greg all the time, and I think a lot of it's because Greg was a soldier, so he only wanted to communicate with him. And I think the coolest part about it, like that spirit can travel the whole town, but he didn't finally identify himself until we got to the dentist office. And I remember setting up all the equipment and everything going off, and we're like, what the heck's going on? And then we realized from reading the signage on the dentist office, like, there it was. It described everything to us that this soldier that we were talking to was actually the dentist of the town. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's what makes it kind of worth it for me too, to get that kind of stuff happen, and then you can go support it and back it up by seeing that historical stuff, those historical markers, and be like, holy cow, this dude was real. That just blows me away, blows my mind every time. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I love that place. We always get a lot of activity. I think it was the general store. One of the spirits wanted me out. It didn't give a reason why. It just didn't like me. Kept telling me to leave. I thought it was kind of weird. Of course, it was a area that we never investigated before, but it's like the spirit was wanting to talk to everybody. It just didn't want to talk to me. It kept telling me to leave. And it's no telling why. We never did get an answer why. But yeah, that whole town is haunted. The old farmhouse, you get a lot of good activity out of there. The whole place is good. We've been out there before with the Rape Chasers. When they do their events out there, we get a lot of cool stuff from the saloon. A lot of activity from the saloon.
Well,
what's up, Mr. Harlan? We noticed that we got you chimed in here.
Yeah, I am out on the front porch with the pretty purple lights, so that's why it kind of looks a little red.
Right. Better not have your Christmas lights up yet.
No, this is still Halloween, man.
Hey,
The Christmas lights are rainbow.
I'm gonna show you something.
Real quick, Carmen, to your statement. Heads up, just stay tuned. We got some stuff coming from an announcement later that you might be interested in. So
one thing at Cowtown was the house with the family that also had the rooms upstairs for, guests as a
love
hotel.
and tangle.
Yes, and as I said, like each place is very specific to what it is. So like the brothel is very specific brothel talking and language and everything. And then when you go to this place, someone's home, that's also a hotel, it's completely different. It's they're greeting you, they're welcoming you, asking how you're doing. It's a completely different feeling and completely different communication. And that's the type of stuff that makes it very, very interesting is that it's so different and unique, and it's exactly like what it is, you know, like a hospitality place. It's hospitable. A brothel. It's brothely. So
Brothely.
that's a new word.
Luckily.
Well, and also that family, when you got to reading the information, like they owned the hotel and they owned all these places. So of course they're going to be hospitable to travelers, and they're constantly asking Kale, "Are you hungry? You know, do you need a coat?" Because I mean, it was getting kind of chilly, and he was like, you know, a little chilly, and he was like, "I'm good, I'm good."
Yeah, and I think a lot of that spurns to I investigated there one time and I was really sick, and that was during a real bad period for me when I ended up in the hospital and
First
stuff.
time. First time.
So every time I go back to Cowtown, the spirit seers they act like they're trying to watch over me to make sure, are you okay? You're not sick again, are you? So yeah, they're constantly asking me if I need anything. So I think that's very cool too.
Absolutely.
So while everybody is on the air, the audience is chimed in. In case you don't know the team, this is not all of us. We have a pretty big team, and this is just some of the investigators. But in case you're just tuning in, you don't know who we are. I'm Kel Epperson. I am the team owner of Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. This is Daniel Fogel. He's my case manager. And then we got Miss Elizabeth over here. She's one of our investigators, along with Terry Lee. Willow Bell is our EVP expert. And our evidence tech, she is the one that goes through all that data and all that stuff to get information. And we're still working on cases. And Willow can tell you, we're pretty backed up and trying to catch up. And then Mr. Reverend Harlan Bell, he is our head clergy on our team and demonologist. And he's the one that, you know, if we need to go and cleanse the location, bless the location, or just counsel somebody, that's kind of where he kind of fits in. So, but yeah, I got to say my favorite place, I think, that I had to check off my bucket list was this location right here. Hopefully it doesn't blur out too bad. The Titanic. We went out there with Ghost Hunt Weekends and the Rave Chasers. And big thanks to you guys, Chad, brother. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of that and investigate the Titanic Museum. We had a blast. The activity was off the chart. It was one of the most memorable investigations that we've done. It was I don't even know where to start. I know right at the beginning we were up on the deck area by the bridge, and we're up there with the group, and Chris Smith from the Ray Chasers was up there. We had every freaking REM pod go off, and then we asked the spirit to touch the glass. Now, anybody that's watched any of the ghost hunter shows, and when they did filming out of the Titanic, a child spirit likes to like touch the glass and leave a handprint. Well, at this particular investigation, we got that. Now, before we even started the investigation, the people that run the museum go and clean the glass, and then after they clean the glass, Ghost Hunt Weekends goes in, I think, and they check everything to make sure nothing's been tampered with or anything messed with. And so, I'm sorry, I'm so wrapped up about this. It was the most crazy experience I ever been through. So I'm getting the spirits to talk, all the equipment's going off, and I asked the spirit, can you please touch the glass? Just put your hand on the glass. And then all of a sudden, this handprint starts appearing on the glass and just stayed there. And here I am, like, trying to take pictures of it. And you can slowly start seeing it manifest on the glass. That was the most craziest thing. I always wanted to witness something like that. You know, you always hear the stories of people being in the bathroom and this handprint appears on the glass or something like that. That actually happened with the group that we were in. It was Daniel. Tell you, I'll never forget that. That was one of the most exciting investigation. We got a lot. Most of it, I think we got like even during our break periods, it was crazy active. We were on the grand staircase, had REM pod set up. We were getting responses off the REM pod. Third class section. We had the spirit box going, and we asked the spirit, "What ship are you on?" And it's clear as day over the Poltercom. It said Titanic. Everybody about lost it. It was one of the clearest spirit box responses I ever. It was plain as day from a male subject saying Titanic. That was, yeah.
We had people running from another room to be like, "Holy crap! Did it really just say that?" Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
And then we made contact with one of the passengers, and I'll let you tell that story about the spirit when we were around all the dishes and stuff like that.
Don't kill me. I don't remember her name. But she was a first class passenger, and she was a big deal. Like, she had money. She was a big deal on the Titanic. And in this museum, if you've never been to it, I highly recommend you go. Number one, even not even for a ghost hunt, just go. It's history. And in a case, they have dishes, and they were her dishes that were found at the bottom of the ocean. And we were in our group, and we're trying to do a sit down and everything. And she starts coming through the spirit box, being very flirtatious with all of the guys, not just me, but all of the guys in the group. And she said, well, actually, what helped me remember, she said, what, left or right? And then we were, or to the right, to the right, to the right. And then we got to the guy that she was wanting to talk to, and she said, stop. And she wanted to dance with this gentleman. It was awesome, man. I don't have anything else to say about that. That was a crazy experience. And we got her name, and I can't for the life of me remember her name at the moment, but she gave us her name through the spirit box. And you turn around and you look at the case where the dishes are at, and it's got a whole plaque with her name and everything talking about her. That was pretty cool. And again, that kind of goes back to what I was saying. If you have something to back that person up, that does it for me.
And she's known to, like when Ghost Hunt Weekends goes in there, there's like a fork or a piece of silverware that's on a stand, and during their ghost hunt, she'll move it and knock it off the pedestal. Now, this is in a sealed case where they have to use special equipment just to get in there because they're trying to protect it from the elements and stuff. But this it'll move or it'll just fall off on its own, and it's in a secure case. It ain't like you can just bump into it and knock it off. It doesn't work that way. It's that secure.
It's in a museum display. So when you think of this, think of going to a museum and seeing a display, those kind of cases. It's not budging. It's not.
No, she didn't die on the Titanic. She was actually a survivor, but I think it's an attachment haunting, and she's attached there. And there's a lot of interesting artifacts there.
She was important enough that when they made the movie Titanic with Kate Winslet and all that, she was important enough that they actually cast somebody to play her. So she was like an
character in the movie,
but they cast somebody to be her. I'm like Kale, though, going back to what he said, that place was on my bucket list. Will I go again? Absolutely. You do not have to jerk my arm. I will go 100%.
I have a question, Cal. Okay. So pretty soon they're actually going to have I know they keep saying this, but they actually are going to have a replica Titanic, go the exact same route, as, the Titanic. So when it's actually going and it's in that area where it sank, do you think it's possible that the new Titanic could get some new people living in it? Or
I don't know.
I mean, it's possible
because they're going to do the exact same route. It's not an American cruise. I think it's leaving out of I don't know,
I-
but I don't know. Just
I
curious.
wouldn't know on a scientific level. This may be a good one for you, Harlan, as a spiritualist. What do you think?
Well, myself, I think that if there's still the people that passed out there that drowned in that location, maybe when that ship goes through there, if somebody was on that ship with any kind of equipment, they might pick up cries for help.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
But you think a spirit would like board the new Titanic and actually stay on there, or
Highly possible, because the thing is when they're in the spirit realm, it's pretty much time doesn't exist.
right?
So it's just like it was yesterday.
And of course, if they're going aboard the new Titanic and it's an exact replica of the old,
They're going to think it's the same.
they're going to think it's the same ship.
Real quick, not to interrupt anybody, just to address some of the stuff in chat. Nope, it's not Molly. It's not Molly Brown.
What's the name, Elizabeth?
It was like Mildred or something like that.
Yeah.
It was. She was like, if you hear her name, you're not going to be like, oh, I know her. But she was important. She was an important person then. She had something to do with the early makings of, I want to say, some kind of soda. She was a big deal.
Well, I like her. She had some of the makings of soda for sure.
It was something. She was known for something, but yeah, I can't for the life of me remember her name right now. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think another fun time we had is always going to Gransbury, Texas. So that's we like to go to Gransbury, spend time with our sister teams down in Texas. We've been down there with Rip Paranormal and Black Cauldron Paranormal, different investigations, and Gransbury is one of the most haunted towns. I think almost every location down there is haunted. And of course, I have to have Daniel tell you the brothel story. We ended up doing, I think it was an event with Rip. And I think this building is like a restaurant now or a little dining area, like you go eat breakfast in the morning and stuff. But they used to have a brothel upstairs. And I'm gonna let Daniel tell the story because this is his baby, and it's a good story.
Well, first of all, I do want to mention this as well. To piggyback off what you said, Granbury is an amazing place if you've never been. They have the whole town square, like you would think of if you thought of like fairy tale. Like it's nuts. I love it for a different kind of reason. People that may or may not know, I have probably an unhealthy infatuation with Bonnie and Clyde, right? So they spend a lot of time there. They took picnics right there on the grass of the courthouse. So I heard this and I was like, huh? Like, that's awesome to me. So right across from said courthouse, though, is called the Square Cafe. So like he said, it's a little cafe. I think they serve breakfast and lunch. I don't think they're open for dinner. Maybe. Anyway, when we first went, we really didn't have any idea of the history of the building. We just went in to investigate. So we get in there, and through the spirit box, we start getting different voices, and it sounds like a provocative woman. So, well, here comes Daniel doing what he does, and there's stairs. So it's a 2-story building. There's stairs that go to the second story. Somebody, however, lives on the second story, so we weren't able to go up. We could stay at the bottom of the stairs. So I took it upon myself to start propositioning, for the lack of a better word, this spirit. And so I threw out $20 at the bottom of the stairs. To them, back in the day, that would have been a lot of money. So I put out $20, and I'm starting to proposition the spirit and stuff. And we're starting to get interactions as the REM pod's going off, squealing, and K2s are lighting up, and she's interacting through the spirit box. One of the other female members that were in the group with us at the time, she's just being silly, comes up to me. And the spirit, through the spirit box, starts getting irritated, like, leave him alone, get away from him. She comes up to me, and she wraps her arms around me, big old bear hug, and she goes, He's mine. Clear as day. Through the spirit box, we hear language warning. She says, "Bitch, he's mine." It was nuts. You want to talk about like chills going up your spine? I'm like, what the hell's going on around here? I'm getting fought over by a living chick and a ghost. It was crazy.
I
Oh,
feel flattered.
What's up, Ryan?
Flattered.
What's up, Mr. Ryan? Yeah, that's and yeah, there's a lot of locations down there that's crazy haunted. There's an old house down there. We were getting a lot of activity. We made contact with I can't remember the name of the building, but it's an old house, and we made contact with a juvenile female. I think she said she was like 17, and
She came at me too. Like I don't know what it is. I find them. She found me and she was absolutely infatuated with me, and I'm kind of like, hey, we can't go down that path, you know.
I think she wanted you to dance, and I think it was more just I think she realized that she could communicate with Daniel very well and talk with him, and then she was like setting the cat balls off and the REM pods and stuff. So that was pretty cool. I love Grandsbury. It's a great location. They got the old jail down there. That place is kicking, haunted, especially the upstairs. We were getting activity upstairs and downstairs, but most of it's upstairs. When we went with Black Cauldron Paranormal, it was nuts. We did the Estes method up there and got a lot of crazy responses off of that. And then I ended up scaring the heck out of everybody when I accidentally bumped into a metal gel door and it banged up against something, and we all jumped out of our skin. But yeah, the jail was that was crazy, absolutely crazy. And we just got to watch out for raccoons, isn't that right, Jenny? Kind of an inside joke, but Channing knows what we're talking about. So what else is one of your favorite haunts that we did this year?
Well, I still, well, I like the 45th Infantry Museum actually also. Just because again, I'm just, I guess, weirdly obsessed with this things being specific to where you're at, which to me is not a coincidence, you know? And so like we're in the Hitler room. And you hear German, you just that type of stuff. And it's just so specific to where you're at. And that's what really gets me is when it's like that, you know.
I'm glad you said the 45th because that's where I was going to. That's one of my favorites. And this last time we were there was just incredible because we have never, ever, the whole time we've ever gone in there, got all the German talk coming across our spirit boxes. We there during the whole time of COVID, so I guess the spirits just missed us, and they were so elated to have us back in there, and they were speaking so fast in German, it was like crazy.
And we're still working on the data on that. Still going through video, and I'm sure Willow's still going over the audio, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of evidence out of that location. What always interests me is that the spirits there have very high respect for the curators that work out there. They'll speak their names, and they care for the people that work out there, and they know that they're preserving history and preserving their memory. And we've gotten a lot out of there in the past. I investigated out there a lot, and we always get something good out of there, either from a U.S. soldier, maybe a Confederate soldier, and that rare occasion it may be a German soldier or somebody else. I think a lot of the haunting has to do, besides the items in the museum, there is a cemetery that's literally like right across the road. I think that has a lot to do with it. There's a chapel in there. We got a lot from the chapel this time.
Yeah.
A lot of communication. So.
And it's just still neat to go. I would
Right.
highly recommend visiting it. So I'd go back to visit it. In fact, I'm going to. So, but yeah, no, it was neat. I really liked it.
Question for y'all too, for everybody. Who's ready to go back to Broken Bow?
Yeah.
Wow. Nobody?
I've never been.
Like
I've never been to
crazy
Broken Bow.
girlfriend that pops up.
Yeah, we haven't been, so I wouldn't know just yet.
Go there.
I've heard lots about Broken Bow, and I'm sure that they probably will talk a lot and tell me to get out. From what I've heard about Broken Bow, they're not going to like me being there.
Yeah, it's a very active location. Anyone that's never been to Broken Bow, there is a spirit out there. I think the owner of the building calls it a spirit that mimics humans, and he's very mischievous and he likes to play pranks and harass people that go in there. But it is a crazy haunted location. When we went with Black Cauldron Paranormal, we got an apparition in a picture, and we physically saw the apparition. And the crazy part about it, we're in there, we're locked in this building, and there's only 4 of us in there, and we're looking down the hallway, and we see this guy standing there, and he's got kind of got that Michael Myers type stance, a pretty big guy, and he almost looks like he's wearing like some type of overalls or something like that. And we literally thought somebody broke into the building and was in there with us. And we were literally having like the other 2 investigators stand behind us, and I'm like yelling down the hallway, like, who's down there? And then we were watching this apparition like look at us and then go into a dead end room. And me and Daniel go down there, and there's no one down there. But Black Cauldron Paranormal did get on a photograph of the apparition. It is one of the coolest apparition photos I ever saw. And I don't know if any other teams that investigated Broken Bow have actually got an apparition photo out of there. But yeah, we ended up getting one, and it seems like we always get called back there. It's a cool location. The owner, she's working hard to preserve the building and working hard to keep it safe. And she's had a couple missed calls from tornadoes and people messing around the location. You know, I feel bad for her because, you know, you get these thrill seekers going out there trying to break in, and all she's trying to do is, you know, make a living out of that place. But yeah, Broken Bow is crazy location.
Kel, I believe the night that you actually went out there that last time and got that apparition, there was a extreme lightning storm, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Not that time.
No, that was
that
was Gransbury at the jail.
That was Gransbury, okay. And there was a lot of activity with that lightning storm, is that right?
With the one in Gransbury, there was a lot of lightning.
Yeah, Linda. Yeah, that they call him Nick. Yeah, he's very protective over the asylum. So, but yeah, there's several different spirits there. So
I want to do real talk, real quick for everybody. Where are my peeps from EVP? Are y'all still on here? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, so
oh, there she is.
there's Shelly. I think Blake and Ryan are still on here as well. So real talk. This is not one of the major announcements I've been throwing a fit about on Facebook. We'll get to that after a while. You guys, we're gonna take y'all. Okay. When we were in down there in Longview with Blake, he mentioned that you guys wanted to go, and I kind of offered us up to go with you guys. Honestly, though, at some point, I'm wanting to maybe close that book, A Broken Bow, because it's something. So, but yeah, we'll take y'all.
And what else? Other crazy. We've been to so many locations this year. It's hard to keep track where we're going.
With Broken Bow, what's really weird is that it's in a little neighborhood, and the houses that are just a few around it, it's so creepy. And I can only imagine like having that as your view. And I wonder if any of those residents have stories of like, yes, I've seen, children peering out the window. They would probably be interesting to question. They may have had some experiences.
Yeah, see, the Broken Bow area is a big Bigfoot Sasquatch area. There's tons of stories of people seeing Bigfoot and Sasquatches, and when you go to Hokie Town, that's all you see is Bigfoot statues and signage and stuff like that. A lot of people believe Bigfoot is an animal. Some believe he's a spiritual creature. Well, I guess we'll never know. Maybe one day they'll figure it out. But it's just that whole area, I'm sure, was native land, and probably still is. I'm not sure what tribes run that area down there, but I'm sure it's full of spiritual energy down there. There's rivers and stuff down there. So it's probably, I think that has a lot to do with it too. So
yeah.
Okay. So I'm about to burst, bro.
Okay.
Are we ready for the big announcement?
One of them. Who's ready for it?
Me.
I'm hoping one of them is what I think it is.
Oh God.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That could be anything, Harlan.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a big deal.
This is a big deal. So here's one of the big announcements that I'm about to burst.
I don't think they're going to believe it.
Okay. When I got told this yesterday, I almost fell on the floor.
Well, hurry and spill the beans.
Spill the bean? I don't know if you'll believe it.
Huh?
You may believe it. You may not.
So, going back to the Branson conversation. Going back to Branson. When we were there in August at the Titanic Museum, we stopped by a little place that they call Ripley's Believe It or Not in Branson.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
What?
They're haunted,
Really?
and they want us to come investigate.
Well, of course it's haunted.
So 2023, we will be investigating Ripley's Believe It or Not in Branson, Missouri. And we might invite some special people to go with us.
True.
I believe it.
That's a true statement. I'm shooting. This is not set in stone for the date because we have to keep watching the weather because it'll be January. I'm shooting for January 28th of 2023. Weather pending. If not, we can push the date back if the weather's bad.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only deal with January being wintertime, being in Branson and all those hills. If it gets to snowing, maybe you stop there for a while.
If you look at the Farmer's Almanac, the Farmer's Almanac calls for heavy snow the end of January and the 1st of February.
Okay.
So we might have to wait till.
We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on the weather at that time. All they've told me is it's done. Like we're in. They said just give them a heads up 2 weeks out is all we have to do. So that date could go further back into the year.
I kind of hope we get snowed in there.
No.
Sorry.
But I was over the moon yesterday. I couldn't wait to tell him. I couldn't wait to tell you guys. I was so excited. that's a big deal. We're the first team to ever investigate that place. They wanted us to when we start there in August. We're like, well, we're busy. We really can't. We don't have time. And I did it. I got us in. So
Thank you, Daniel.
Now this
You're
place, we walk through the museum, and there's one area
Yeah.
where me, Daniel, and Caden were standing up there, and we swore somebody was standing behind us, and we turned around and no one was there.
all three of us, simultaneously, all three of us turned around and looked behind us.
And
Nobody.
It has to be the creepiest area in the whole
It wasn't
museum.
a wax
And it's the
figure,
shrunken headroom.
Oh wow, that's gonna be so fun.
That place is big enough. As he mentioned, we're going to be inviting some special friends, some special people. That place is big enough, so no worries.
So, can you say any of the stuff right now that they are experiencing, or do you kind of want to wait until we get closer? Or
Now, yeah, I guess we can. So the area that we were talking about where we felt the presence, they say people like the employees will go in that area and sense like they're being watched and that there's somebody standing there or they'll see somebody. So yeah, that particular area is like the very strong point. And the way the building's designed, it's weird anyway because it's Ripley's, and I always believe designs of buildings do amplify spiritual energy and heighten it. That's why you always hear about like the Great Pyramids being haunted or certain buildings being haunted. I think it's because of building design and somehow it just amps it up. But with all there's artifacts in there and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been one of my biggest dreams as a kid. I was a big Ripley's Believe It or Not fan, and now I think Ghost Adventures. I think they investigated the one in Hollywood, but to our knowledge, I don't think no one's investigated the one in Branson. So I think we're the first team to go in there. So
It was pretty crazy because every employee that we encountered, when we walked in the door, the first employees that greeted us there, they were like, "Oh, you're ghost hunters," because we had our shirts on, and we were like, "Yeah." We kind of talked to them about it a little bit. Going through the building, just going through the museum, going through Ripley's, every employee that we encountered, they're like, "Hey, y'all should investigate here. We have ghosts." That's what's on the bottom floor. We get up to the second level, employees up there. Y'all should investigate here. We have ghosts. We get into the gift shop, employees. We have ghosts. Like everybody, like they know it. So I said, let me reach out to them, and I did, and there was no questions asked. We're in. So
that is so awesome.
yeah.
So I got a question for you. The one in Branson, is it as big as the one in San Francisco?
I'm not sure.
I don't know how big that one
Man,
is.
I'll tell you that
It's
one in
pretty
San
big location.
Francisco, that one is so haunted. I've been in there a number of times. So yeah, all of the stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And literally right down the road, not too far from there, is the Titanic Museum.
Right down the street.
Like literally right down the street.
It's gonna be great. And you said January 28th.
That's what I'm going to shoot for. So depending on the weather, we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's what I want to shoot for, honestly. If it has to get pushed back, it does. But
And I still think I'm right about another spot that you may be thinking about us getting back into next year. One that we've been in before, but we haven't been in a long time.
throw it at me.
You were supposed to be talking to them at the old plantation.
Yes, I did reach out to them. The answer is no.
Oh, that bad. That sucks.
They're still not allowing paranormal teams in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They told me no.
Hey,
Did they change ownership?
No, it's
No.
still the same ownership. We went down there
Okay.
and had lunch down there and spoke with them, and
Okay.
at this time they're still not allowing people to investigate.
Yeah. That's sad. That place is
Yeah.
very, very, very active.
and I'm not going to ask anymore.
Mhm.
I think the pit crew, they're probably the ones I'd rather have make contact with them because they have the best relationship with them, and I think over time, maybe they'll let any paranormal team go back in there, but we'll have to see. Just keep saying your prayers for them, and I don't blame them. They had a bad experience, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things. So I just noticed on our comment feed, we got Ellen Gray Bill. Sorry, it's hard to read this. It's so small. From the Cherokee Strip Museum. We were just talking about your ears burning.
I do want to mention that one of our very first videos or live feeds that went completely viral in 24 hours, over 20,000 views, was at that place down there at the brothel upstairs.
Right.
So that's sad. I'm hoping that we can get back in there sometime.
Yeah, it may just take some time. Linda, she'll probably she's gonna be working with them. She posted that
Good
she
deal.
said this is so very sad. Chad said he will let me know when he is ready. So we'll just give him time to I'm sure once he does decide to let teams back in, he's gonna be very picky about who he's gonna to let in. And I'm sure when it starts off, it'll probably just be Linda's group going in until he feels more comfortable.
That was a good guess, though. The plantation, that would have been a huge announcement. I could have gone back in. So that was a good guess. But no, I have one more, but we're not going to talk about that yet.
All right, good deal. Good deal.
I had one more question about Ripley's.
Yep.
Are they going to allow us to video?
Oh, let me find out for sure. I want to say yes because they've already told me they are going on social media with it. So I'm assuming they will probably let us.
Okay.
I don't know for sure though.
Yeah, they're like gonna advertise and everything. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Good business.
I told Kale I wouldn't be surprised if we show up there to Branson and like a Branson news crew is up there. Like that's how like a big of a deal it is. Yeah.
So I better wear makeup.
Yeah, I better wear my makeup too.
Y'all are too much.
You're crazy.
Kale will have to brush his hair, and
I gotta brush my hair. Yeah.
Oh.
So, what other cool sites that you like this year?
Of course, we've always got Flower Bluff. Yeah.
Flower Bluff. Oh yeah, Flower Bluff.
So
I love that location. I love it to death. I love the owner out there and the employees. They're so kind and so nice, very open with their hearts. And yeah, Flower Bluff Manor in Sulphur, Oklahoma is one of the most active locations that I've been to. One of our investigators, Emily, she actually works out there. So yeah, that's it's a great location. When we did the Paracon down there, we realized very quickly that the spirits from Flower Bluff don't just haunt there, they haunt the whole town. And that was amazing. We got amazing evidence where the spirit Sophia, which is Daniel's girlfriend, she followed us to the hotel. It was the craziest thing. We got it on video where she was opening up one of the drawers in her hotel room. And she, we literally had to say, okay, Sophia, we're trying to get some sleep. Quit opening the cabinets and stuff. But yeah, she's very active. Why don't you tell the story of Flower Bluff about the spirits there, and they got their main spirits that haunt there.
So Flower Bluff Manor was just originally a house. Jesse Denton Ramsey, that's my one of my BFFs. He built the house. He was at one point in time the sheriff. He was a big deal in Sulphur, but he was a sheriff. There was a theater that he had built as well that he had owned, and of course the house. He was a womanizer. He was married, but he was a womanizer. He loved the ladies. That's Shelly's boyfriend.
Shelly's boyfriend from the Rusty Nail Attic.
Yep. So they did have a maid by the name of Sophia. Mr. Ramsey fell in love with Sophia. What he did for her is across the street built a mini replica of Flower Bluff Manor. That was Sophia's house. Rumor has it there were tunnels under Sulphur and one going from Flower Bluff under the street across to her house. That's how he would go to her house without being seen, because he was a big like government official, sheriff kind of guy back in the day. So they didn't want any kind of conspiracies to make him look bad. So at Flower Bluff, we do have Jesse. We have Sophia. We also have Mrs. Ramsey, who can be heard in the bathroom crying. She's sobbing, and she is so sad.
And then Mr. Nasty.
We have
in the apartment.
We have Mr. Nasty. There is an apartment right behind Flower Bluff Manor. That dude is not nice. He stays, well, we tell him to stay there, but he kind of comes and goes as he pleases.
Yeah, Linda, she was with us during one of the investigations, and he definitely does not like clergy.
Mm-hmm.
He's very aggressive. He tries to latch on to mainly like female investigators. We do have a video of where he tried to lunge at me. It was the craziest thing, and we have it on Connect Cam where you see me asking questions and he's setting off. I think I was using the what was I using? It wasn't a K2. It was another Mel meter, and he was setting off the ghost meter, and he decided to come at me full force. And when he slammed into me, the light just went out, and it kind of dazed me there for just a little bit because I didn't really realize what happened. And then Caden is running the Connect Cam, and he could see the spirit on the floor in a fetal position. And then he said my aura or color that I had changed colors. It went from what, like a green to a
green red,
like bright red.
Mhm.
Yeah, it definitely decided never to try to attack me again, because I literally like knocked it on his can. But he's very very aggressive. Linda, like I said, she was there. Shelly and the EVP crew did the S's method, and listening to him rattle off stuff, and he's not a nice guy. He's very hateful, very mean. The manor itself is very well protected and sealed, except for that upper level room. That's the only room that's not really sealed very well. But yeah, Blake saying he got aggressive with Shelly and I with Estes.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's not a very nice spirit, and he was I want to say conjured up from the basement area. So before the Flower Bluff owners even moved in there, people would break into the basement area to try to find the tunnel, and we found evidence of like burnt candles and stuff like that. And when we asked questions to this spirit, he said he was summoned in, like he was brought in through some type of ritual, and he doesn't identify himself as demonic or evil. He just says he's just something ancient.
Mhm.
So it's no telling what he is. We never really push the issue because we don't want. He's kind of we kind of got him at bay right now where he's not harassing anybody else, so we don't want to rile him up too much. But yeah, he's we call him Mr. Nasty. That's our nickname for him. So we usually, if we do an investigation at Flower Bluff and he tries to chime through, we just ignore him, or just tell him, hey, just go somewhere else.
Cut the crap.
But Flower Bluff is great. If any team goes out there to investigate, Mr. Ramsey's, you'll know it's him because he'll say, let's go to the bar. Let's pour some drinks. And if you go to the bar, he'll tell you what type of alcohol he wants, and it's usually bourbon.
Yeah.
He wants bourbon. And I'm trying to remember what Sophia likes to drink. What was it? There was a certain drink she likes.
I don't know.
It was
Mr. Ramsey's always a bourbon.
See you soon, Sophia. Miss you. Here you go.
Now you got me intrigued. I really want to question Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy. You can ask Linda; she can tell you he does not like any form of clergy whatsoever. So
Yeah, I know.
he's very hateful. He tried to call out her psychic medium Saul. Tried to call him out to try to get him there. Like he's something else. Something else. I tell you what.
And it went after Tammy when she investigated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to go after her. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's a good site though. Like I said, Mr. Ramsey, he likes flirting with the women. We had a past investigator that actually looked like Sophia, and he was constantly wanting to make contact with her.
Yeah.
And we really didn't realize at first what was going on until I guess a psychic medium came in there in the past, and they actually like did a painting of what they thought Sophia looked like, and it just hit us. We're looking at this painting, and we're looking at this past investigator, and we're like, they look almost exactly alike. So no wonder Mr. Ramsey's is constantly wanting to talk to her, and it's because he looks like Sophia, or she looks like Sophia. So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I like Flower Bluff. The Rusty Nail. When we did the Paracon, we were up there with EDP, and we started talking with the regular spirits, and then here comes Mr. Ramsey, and of course he had to go and try to flirt with Shelly. I think what was it? The response we were getting something about her blonde hair or something like that.
Yeah.
Get the blonde back in here.
Yeah, he said get the blonde back in here. Yeah.
So one of the things that I'll just touch on also real quick, throughout the course of this year, we worked with several teams. Honestly, a lot of different locations. We worked with several teams. I'm going to give a shout out to all of them right now because we have so much fun working with you guys. Some of them are watching us. We have so much fun. I have a blast every time. Anytime you guys ask us or need us to help you, we're down. That's Black Cauldron. That's EVP. Any of you guys that are on here that we have not worked with, come on. You know what I'm saying? But thank you guys for putting up with us and going with us. And thank you guys for asking us to be with you guys as well on investigations. It's been a blast. It's so much fun. I love working with all of you guys.
And I feel kind of bad because Rip Paranormal had an event not too long ago, and unfortunately, we weren't able to go. I couldn't go just because of work. I keep changing bosses for some reason, and I just couldn't get that weekend off. And I feel so bad. I like helping Rip out with their charity events. Mike and Chris from the Rape Chasers were down there. Big shout out to Rip. I love you guys. We miss you guys. Yeah, I feel bad that we couldn't go, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes, and it's just how it works. You know, when you're a ghost hunter or paranormal investigator, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Pitt, we love you guys.
We love you guys. We love all of y'all. And yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed you. I apologize. That's my bad. But we do love working with you guys.
And all the teams that we work with, OPA, D Parks' team, all of you guys, we love you to death. We enjoy it. We enjoy working with you guys. If we can, it gets hard sometimes when you got back-to-back investigations and stuff scheduled. We try to get to everybody. Let's see who's chiming in now. Willow, she must have accidentally bumped herself off. Head to stream. There she is again.
That actually brings me to announcement number 2. That's kind of where I was going with that. So, March 4th,
Yes.
2023, we have set up a huge Para-Unity event investigation at Cowtown. So, we have that.
And big thanks to Afterlife PIO.
Oklahoma City.
Afterlife Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma, they reached out to us, and then they're going to go, right? Or are they going to try to go with us, or do we know?
I think so.
I think they're going to try to go out there with us. We don't get to investigate with them very often.
I don't think we ever have.
Oh yeah,
honestly, did we?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. So what that'll be, that's at Cowtown in Wichita, Kansas, March 4th. That will be happening. We're going to be with White Noise Paranormal out of Wichita. They are the host team. We have already reached out and talked to some people. I think Afterlife Paranormal, they're down. They're going to go. We did reach out to our friends that we love very much at Black Cauldron Paranormal. I unfortunately don't think that they're going to be able to make it, but we also do have our friends here at EVP. I'm dragging y'all into this one. So y'all are going. I think I already talked to Shelly about that. So that's a cool place.
Very cool place. Like I said, it's a large location, a lot of buildings to investigate in, and you won't be able to investigate every building in one night. It's just not gonna happen. So it's gonna be great. We're gonna go out there and film live. You guys can film live. Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Y'all gotta stop.
We're reading all the comments. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Blake, you gotta wear a cowboy hat. That's the only thing that's required.
Actually, I was thinking if I dressed like a
Saloon girl
or saloon girl, I wonder though. Like I'm going to experiment with that and just see if it's any different. Just might. You got the costume?
Oh, Shelly
does. She does actually.
And it works.
You dress up that way, I'll dress up
Bring it, Shelly.
Well, Daniel, then that means you're
all right. Blake's got the whole costume.
Yes,
I'll try to remember to bring my cowboy hat. I'll bring my Toby Keith hat.
There may or may not be a snake in our boot.
Somebody poison the water.
We're done. Sorry.
I was being good.
It's normal PIO, folks.
That's announcement number 2. Carmen, if you're still on here, if you want to go, holler at me. I'm sure we could probably do that.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I'm telling you what, this next year, I'm trying to free myself up to where I'm able to do more of the Saturdays. So these investigations that you guys are doing on long distances so that I can attend them. I've been working real hard at trying to free myself up on Saturdays.
Yeah, we're just kind of branching out more. And what stinks is a lot of the normal Oklahoma haunts they're just not around anymore, or they're just not allowing people in. Like the old Mercantile building in Guthrie, it's not even safe to walk around in there anymore.
I felt
that's what I heard
twice.
I think with Gabriella's, it was rumored they got new management or new ownership. I don't know if that's true or not. I know.
Yeah, they did. They sold.
The owner
they sold the place.
is constantly busy. So, Overhosher Mansion is actually, I think, rented by another paranormal group out of Oklahoma. I think they run that site and do ghost tours and stuff out of there. What is it, Concho?
They tore those buildings down.
Yeah, I heard that they tore a lot of the buildings down, which is kind of disappointing. It was like
most of them.
Haunt. Yeah, that was a very good haunt.
Now,
out there.
To our team, don't feel bad or sad that, hey, a lot of these investigations are out of state. I do have some in the works that are here in Oklahoma. That's just taking me a little bit longer, but it's probably going to happen. So I'm talking to them every day, just trying to get it all worked out.
Well, we appreciate what you do, Daniel. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, just a big shout out to Daniel here, everybody, because he busts his can to get us these awesome locations. And we get people ask us all the time, like, how do you guys get these cool locations? You just pick up the phone and call or shoot an email. Now we've been told no before,
And it hurts my feelings.
and it hurts Daniel's feelings. Sometimes people are. I think we got one response back that was just downright mean, but they probably just don't like ghost hunters contacting them.
Yeah, I did reach out to a location. I'm not going to put them on blast, but I reached out to a location when I was getting all this stuff done, and I basically got the answer: no, thanks. Don't ever message us again. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, there was one place that I was so certain that I could get, and it's a special place to me because it has ties to Al Capone, and that's also one of my BFFs. And as bad of a dude as he was, and I tried so hard to get in. I was like, "There's no way they're gonna tell me no," and they told me no. And my feelings.
You go in there with mommy.
So, with you guys, is there a certain location that you always wanted to investigate? Me and Daniel have our own little checklist of different locations that we'd love to investigate, and I know Terry definitely does. But usually me and Daniel are pretty much on the same page when it comes to haunted locations. For me, I want to investigate Tombstone.
Yes.
I think that would be freaking awesome to investigate Tombstone.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that so much.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about putting together a list of all the places we want to go to and kind of map them out. And I was going to do that, but then this past year, my personal life has been kind of crazy, so I haven't been able to. But now I can, so I will start working on that, and even just start locally, just at like urban legends, that are around Oklahoma. Really just anywhere.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I've even told Kel this yet, but I'll tell everybody now. I also have not one, but 2 jails in Arkansas that I can get us in.
Oh,
Yup. So there's that also.
ultimate destination would be Cecil Hotel.
Oh wow. Now, one of the things that me and Daniel like to do is the Bonnie and Clyde Museum, and actually try to do an investigation of where they were ambushed at to see if we get anything out of there. And of course, Blake is sitting there teasing Daniel, saying, "Oh, it's not too far from here."
They had to hold me back, and that's not very nice, Blake, after I've been drinking.
But yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. When we're down in Granbury, when we're at the jail, we try to make contact with Bonnie and Clyde because they were in that area. That was part of their loop down there. So I think that would be cool.
I'm going
to do the Bonnie and Clyde Museum if that's accessible. I don't know if it is or not. That's just on our bucket list.
Yep. And I mean, and again, I probably have an unhealthy infatuation with them. They were horrible people. But man,
oh, so interesting.
I love them. I love them to death. You do not have to threaten me with a good time, Blake.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll have to plan it to go to Longview and ride with you down there to that area. I think that'd be awesome. Now, one thing we did, we went on a case with EDP on a residential case. And when we were leaving Texas, we stopped off in Hugo, Oklahoma. And if you watched our live feed, we went out to the old clown cemetery, and that was awesome. We found a lot of awesome graves out there. Lane Frost, his graves out there. A lot of people of the circus were out there. That's a big Sasquatch area as well. We tried to do a spirit box session out there, and it just didn't.
My service wasn't great.
Yeah,
sorry,
we couldn't get to work, which is disappointing because we were getting good responses. We asked the name of one of the spirits, like, can you tell us what your name is? And he said his name was Popcorn.
Mhm.
That was one of the clowns that's buried out there in that cemetery.
Yep.
And I was very surprised how active that cemetery is, even during the day. There's a lot of positive energy out there, a lot of positive energy. I consider it like holy ground out there. It's a very nice location. Made contact with a lot of spirits out there. They all want to communicate, all different types of backgrounds. We over the spirit box, one of the trapeze artists tried to communicate with us,
Oh, wow.
but it was a little disappointing because we weren't able to that really get to talking with them. The service was just horrible out there, and like using my cell phone, it's like I did fine. I had good service, but my spirit box was on the phone, and we tried to switch over to Daniel's phone, and for some reason, he just couldn't make any good connection. And yeah, unfortunately, it won't do the spirit box and the live feed at the same time. So it is disappointing, but hey, it's still a cool location. If you guys are watching, yeah, go to Hugo, Oklahoma, to the Clown Cemetery. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous area out there.
Circus City, like Shelly said, it was at one point called Circus City. And Linda, I did see your comment about Bonnie. Yes, that is also on our list. We've got so many people pulling us left, right, up, down, sideways to get us to Old Park. So, yes.
I
Now-
definitely right now want to make a big shout out to Chris and Mike from the Wraith Chasers. You guys invited us to a lot of investigations with you guys. We love going out to your events and supporting all your good causes. We love you guys. You're our brothers. Big shout out to Ghost Hunt Weekends too. I want to make sure you guys know that, you know, we love joining you guys at the Titanic. You guys were open arms to us and allowing us to go. The Wraith Chasers got so many awesome locations that they do, a lot of good events. And they go to places that's on my bucket list as well, like Mickey, what was it?
Shit. Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mackey's. They go out there and investigate
Oh,
the
yeah.
portal of hell.
Yeah,
I want to go out there and investigate that. I think that'd be
that
cool.
would be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna make a chart, and it's gonna be like that meme from, like, you know, Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's got those red lines everywhere. And
We're on here, and we're gonna go over here.
that's what. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
from Oklahoma.
We want to go to like Villisca too. Villisca's the Axe Murder House. So many
Oh,
places,
yeah.
man.
Oh, Sally House. I'd love to go to the Sally House.
I do know someone who lives by the Sally House, so maybe.
It's been a while since we've been to Boonesville. I love Boonesville. That's a great haunt. The spirits are very active, very touchy feely. Gosh, there's so many different locations I want to go to. It's on the bucket list, you know.
Yeah, see, and that's where if we had a little thing and we do several. See, sorry, my head's already going like that. Now I'm, yeah.
And
Okay.
Daniel's supposed to win the lottery sometime. That way we have a big old RV to travel in.
Hey, I tried. I tried this last time, man. Sorry.
That would be
Now, on the topic of clowns, if you want clowns, there's a clown motel in a old, probably haunted mining town in Nevada, Tonopah, Nevada. You have the clown motel there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that'd be kind of creepy to go see too.
Mhm.
That's also the entrance to the extraterrestrial highway. So you got clowns, aliens, and ghosts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's one of my bucket lists is the extraterrestrial highway and some of those motels along the highway.
Well, I
They're
will
all haunted.
keep. Okay, I'll add that to the list.
I
But
would
one
love
of my
to investigate
one of
the
my
Queen Mary. That's like
yeah,
on my bucket
that's the
list
one I
too.
was getting ready to say is the Queen Mary. I think we ought to take a whole week and take the whole team and just go down there and do a massive investigation.
Now, the Queen Mary has special place in my heart. One of my biggest mentors in the paranormal field was Peter James. He was a psychic medium. He was one of my biggest influences in the paranormal when I first started off. I love watching his investigations of how he would reach out on a spiritual level to make contact with these spirits, and the responses that he would get, these direct responses were amazing. watching him investigate the Queen Mary was just amazing. He'd be trying to talk with the children down by the old pool area, and then one of the female spirits that watches over there, she gets pretty hateful, and you can usually when he investigates, you can hear disembodied voices and stuff. I remember hearing when he passed away, and it just broke my heart. But he, some people think he himself haunts the Queen Mary, like he roams around out there. That was one of his favorite haunts. He went to several different haunted locations and haunted prisons. Yeah, I loved Peter James. I think he was just absolutely amazing. So definitely the Queen Mary is on my bucket list, and I would love to try to go out there and investigate and try to make contact with Peter James. I would be just overwhelmed and I'm sure if he's out there haunting that location, he would make contact. And the Queen Mary's, I'm trying to remember how many spirits they said that was on there. There's like thousands of spirits. Some are good. Some just don't want to be bothered. Like most of the time when they go out there and investigate, they get leave me alone, go away. The spirits just don't want to. They just don't want to communicate with anybody at all. So, but some do. And there's tons of ghost stories from the Queen Mary. There was one area on the Queen Mary where a sailor died, and they tried to go. I think he was trying to go through a hatch, and the automatic hatch closed up on him, and it killed him. And they always suspected, like, was it an accident? Was it murder? One of the old captains haunted the Queen Mary, and Peter James used to channel his spirit, and he would always warn people about channeling. You know how dangerous it was to do, and you had to be definitely disciplined to do it. And listening to him channeling spirits I always thought that was pretty wild. The red-headed sailor, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, Shelly and Ryan, you guys hit the nail on the head. Sightings. That's where I saw him, so I'm pretty sure that's probably where Kel saw him too, doing his thing with the Queen Mary. But yeah, back in the day, that was the stuff. That was the jam. So
I was always a big Unsolved Mysteries fan. I love that show. Watching them talk about ghost stories.
Yeah.
That music.
There's a couple more that are on my list, and one of them has to do with family history. The Bell Witch Cave in Kentucky, or is it? It might be Tennessee, but I think it's Kentucky. Bell Witch Cave. I really would love to go investigate that.
Oh yeah, that'd be
cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That is part of the family.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's so many places.
Not sure she'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I know, but I still want to investigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can cross everyone's bucket list stuff off. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything for us? Any questions? Anything at all you want to say? Now's your chance. Crickets.
I wouldn't want to talk to me either.
Should I do a shameless plug?
Go for it. What do you got?
Okay, everybody. Check out True Crime and Coke on YouTube. Tomorrow I will be talking with Malcolm Brenner. Just Google him. And also on Friday, I will be talking again to Nico Clo, the Vampire of Paris. And they are always fun to talk to. So I would highly recommend you going there and subscribing to my page. Thanks.
You heard it here first. You guys go check that out. Shelly, you can throw any kind of questions you want at us, buddy.
Make sure it's PG-13 though.
I don't care what it is.
Now Elizabeth, she works at she's on the board with the Chandler Pioneer Museum. That was a cool location to investigate. I'm sure Elizabeth's got tons of ghost stories out of that place.
I do.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us some of them ghost stories?
I really can't.
Come on, don't be shy now. Just because we're putting you on the spot full of thousands of people. Well, not really thousands of people.
We wish.
It looks like about 9 people watching.
I can tell the toilet paper story.
At Cherokee Strip.
What the?
I mean,
Well, I see y'all's question, Shelly. We'll come back to that. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
you know,
Yeah, I do.
I know what you're talking about.
Come on. I don't know what the hell's going on around here. I'm in the dark.
You're always in the dark.
I do it in the dark. Yeah.
Do you need to put it in the comment section, Terry?
no. We were okay. It was that one Cherokee strip museum, and it was like when we were setting up and getting the Connect Cam. You guys were working on getting like the feed going, you know, on Facebook. I had to go bathroom, so it's the bathroom, and of course, like the bathroom happens to be like really far away, and then there's no toilet paper, and everyone has their phones on like airplane mode. I'm like, oh crap, what do I do? And I didn't want to like, you know, call someone and somehow mess some feed up. So I went to the live feed and asked for Elizabeth to bring me some toilet paper.
Because I think I was the only other female. Because I don't think Kelly was with us.
Yeah, right. So we're filming live, and there's this comment from Terry saying, "Can you bring me some toilet paper?"
And so the Kel's like, going to the bathroom.
I've never told you guys this, but I found some toilet paper right there behind it. So there
Okay,
was
we got some questions
So-
here. Let's see. What is the strangest thing you have ever done in a road trip?
Ooh, not ghost related.
Not ghost related. Oh gosh. Strangest thing. Gosh, I don't know. Strangest thing you ever done in a road trip.
Well, we're out of time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hell, I'm pretty boring. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh no, but that sounds fun. Your last question. I'm down.
I don't know the strangest thing we ever done. Probably, I wouldn't call it strange, but when we went down to Broken Bow, we went actually looking for Bigfoot tracks, and we actually found Bigfoot footprints. I thought that was pretty cool.
say about TV.
Okay. I don't.
Sorry.
Strangest. It's not ghost related necessarily, but I have been ghost Bigfoot hunting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty boring, but that's probably the strangest thing I've ever done. I got told that I wouldn't shut the hell up, so I was pretty scared apparently because I was just going off. But man,
What about you guys? What's the strangest thing, not ghost related, on a road trip?
I didn't take that many road trips. So, yeah.
Okay,
What
let's
happens
see.
when you work on a farm?
Right. Got another question here. Let's see. What is the most odd request you have ever had from a homeowner on a private investigation? I think probably just the oddest request was being called to apartment complexes, and people want us to investigate their apartment so they want us to write a report saying their apartment is haunted so they can get out of their lease. I've had a couple of those. I think that's like one of the weirdest.
I'm usually with him with home investigations, so I don't know that I really have one, honestly. Yeah, like because we're pretty much there, so I don't know that I have anything strange.
That is ingenious, isn't it, Blake?
Poor Linda. Let's see. This week in Broken Bow, we had no power for 3 days, and it was so dark. I brushed my teeth with arthritis cream. Oh,
Oh,
no. Well, at least your teeth didn't hurt, I guess. Man,
Have we ever investigated a strip club? I already answered that one. I have not.
No?
I would love to. So, fun story though, there is a burlesque right in Wichita, right next to the hotel that we stay at when we go to Cowtown. And it's a speakeasy burlesque strip club, I guess. And
You'd have gone
Kelly had to keep me from going in there last time, just to be honest with you. Let's go, Shelly. Come on. Throw something else at us. I don't care what it is.
I always like investigating these sites where you really don't know what's going to happen. We went down to Tahlequah, which is my hometown, and we investigated a business down there. And the business constantly has like lights flickering and weird, like stuff being thrown off the shelves and stuff. So we got invited to go down there to investigate. Well, we're down there investigating, and all of a sudden we started getting like gangster talking on there, and we're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then the brothel girls, and we're like, this is Tahlequah, Oklahoma. And then we found out that there used to be a building next door that's torn down, was a club and had a brothel upstairs.
Yeah.
We're like, are you kidding me? And I blame Daniel for it because he's supposed to find them all the time. But yeah, it was, I like going to those investigations where something unexpected, you go into the location like, yeah, probably not haunted. And then when you get in there, you start realizing like, oh, this place is crazy. Let's see, what else is there? Have you ever found an object at a location that scared you and obviously didn't belong? Found an object. Now, I know a lot of times, like me and Harlan, we can be like on a spiritual journey, like going to Romanos or something like that, and we'll find rocks and stones. And I've had people give me items before for an item that didn't belong. I'm trying to think. Nothing that really scared us, but
I would have to interject on that. For me, knowing what I know about the spiritual realm, there's nothing that scares me. Fear is your worst enemy when you're going into any kind of investigations or anything else. Fear is attracting the very negative energies. That's what they feed off of.
right.
Fear not. I have no fear whatsoever. They can't harm me. I have dominion. So even objects, they can't harm me. Nothing. So yeah, fear is not a question. No, nothing that's ever made me fear for anything. I've had lots of strange things given to me, or strange things in strange places, but that make me question why it's there. But nothing fear-based.
Right. Oh, will line off the exit. Oops.
And that's, that goes right into another thing. If anybody that's listening to this decides they want to do investigations or go into places and investigate, if you have any kind of fear whatsoever, don't do it.
Right.
Just don't do it.
Shelley said, is there a place that you refuse to go back to? Not really. I think Broken Bow, there's times where like, yeah, we really don't want to go back, but
that's
nothing that scares us away now.
No, that's what I was going to speak on is we talk about Broken Bow. We're not going back there. I don't refuse to go back. I 100% will. I will. I don't like it, but I'll do it. I don't refuse to. So.
Yeah, I can't think of a spot that we refuse to go back to.
Mm-mm.
I mean, usually locations we go to aren't that bad, and so no, nothing really right offhand that we refuse to go back to. Nothing I can think of.
As long as someone else can drive and I get to sleep in the vehicle.
Right. Now, one thing that always interests me and it's crazy. Every time we go into any ghost location, it doesn't matter where it is, we get the spirits always asking for Caden. And I kind of wish Caden was on the line here, but yeah, it's like even when we were at the cemetery in Hugo at the clown cemetery, they called out for Caden's name. And I just find that very interesting. Why his name constantly gets called. I don't think we really got an answer to it. But every haunted location we go to, they call out Caden's name, and of course, it's a he's got a unique name, and I just I don't get it. There's got to be something about him, a light or something that emanates from him that they want to talk to him. So he probably has a calling. I would say. I know he's spoken about being ordained at one time. So I don't know. To have every location we go to almost, they ask for Caden. I always find it unique.
Several times, usually, too. Several times. To the point it almost kind of makes you jealous because it's like.
All right. This one's from Shelby, and this one's, I'm going to direct this one at Harlan. She asked, do you think that people with abilities are more susceptible to physical attacks, or do you think some spirits just like to pick on us?
You know, I think a lot of the spirits see that you have abilities. The only time that you're going to have a physical attack is if you have any kind of fear in your subconscious, you know, and or consciously, especially consciously. But any kind of fear base from your childhood could bring on attacks from spirits or entities. But you know, the thing is light workers, they are drawn to you. They're drawn to you because of your light. You have something that they want, but they don't really want. They want it, but they don't want it. And they want to actually try to get the light worker to turn around. Does that make sense? They're wanting you to lower your energy. They want to take your energy, and the only way they can do that is by instilling fear in you. So sometimes they will do a physical attack, but it really it depends on you. It depends on your mindset and how you feel about yourself. And do you realize that you have dominion over everything, heaven and earth? If you realize that, they can't harm you. They may try. There's been many times where me and Kel have gone up to locations and been the first ones on site and turn on our spirit boxes, and they're saying, "Run, get out of here." Kel, Harlan, they're here. Go away.
Yep.
You know, run, hide.
Oh yeah,
they don't want us there.
I don't remember what location it was, but we got an EDP with the spirit, and it was a negative spirit, and it said, "Kel walks with Jesus." And you know, these entities know if you're a good person or a bad person. We've been to a lot of negative, what I consider hauntings, and they'll call out Harlan's name. Yeah, if you're a good person, they know who you are. They'll call you out, and they always like to focus on the ones that don't know their abilities yet, and they seem like they always go after these individuals. And yeah, it's interesting. Now, if you guys are just tuning in with PIO, we're kind of you get paranormal teams that are all scientific, some that are all spiritualists. We're kind of a mixture of both. Okay, we do our investigations, we do it scientifically, we debunk just like any other paranormal team, but we do the spiritual side of it too. You know, that's myself. I'm ordained. Daniel's ordained. Harlan's ordained. Willow's ordained. We got several ordained ministers on our team, so we deal with some nasty stuff sometimes. But yeah, Harlan is right. You know, you got to go in with a positive mindset and no fear whatsoever. Yeah, Shelley and Blake, we helped them down with their case down in Longview, and they got to meet the spirit of fear. The spirit is the spirit of fear is a negative entity. You've heard it in the Bible, speaking of the spirit of fear, and that was an interesting case. It was a residential case. I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but what was interesting, I asked the question the moment the entity identified itself as fear, and I said, "Oh, you do remember me?" And of course, it did. And I asked the spirit, I said, "Where do you remember me from?" And out of that spirit box, it said Geronimo, and it was like, all right, because that's where me and Harlan dealt with the spirit, what a spirit that's calling itself fear. We've dealt with that on a negative case, and so positive. You got to go in positive, no fear. But here's the deal: if you're a light worker and you're doing positive things, negative things are going to be thrown at you. It's just part of the world we live in. You get tested, you get tried, and the more you progress in love and light, the more negativity is going to be thrown at you, and you'll notice people changing around you, the environment changing. One of my favorite things people tell me is, "Oh, I got bad luck. I got, I'm just having a bad day." Well, quit dwelling that you're having a bad day. Focus on the positive. Don't think that you're having a bad day. Hey, I'm going to go out and have a great day, and just don't focus on it. Because if you focus on it, your energy can manifest it. And you don't want that. And it's the same way when we're investigating a haunted location, depending on the site. We've been to locations, and Harley can tell you too, where the place is not haunted, it's just saturated with negative energy, and that negative energy can manifest to anything you want. And you can go in there and think, okay, it's rumored that there's a little child here, a little girl. Well, guess what's going to manifest? A little girl. There's no little girl there. It's just negative. I call it like man-made energy that's left behind. I always enjoy investigating like fun houses or like haunted houses. Some of them can be actually haunted, but a lot of times it's fear energy that builds up in these locations, and they'll manifest. If you think it's something negative and evil, it's going to be negative and evil. And you can get other things to manifest. Like you can do a knock test and say, "Can you knock back twice for me?" And you'll hear knocking. And it's just because of the energy. There's no ghost there. It's kind of like it reminds me a lot of like a residual hauntings, but it's us that's doing it. Sometimes it's people's psychic abilities that cause it and stuff.
There's another thing that goes with that, Kel, for anybody that's gifted, that has abilities, that's honing in their abilities. You got to realize that when you realize that you're gifted, you're actually moving into what they call the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is thoughts become things. So you really got to pay close attention to your conscious thinking process, because thoughts do become things. If you're thinking in the negative, like Kel was talking about, you're going to be creating it yourself. So you got to really pay attention to your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own actions as a light worker.
And one thing that's nice with PIO folks is that we're very open up to all religious beliefs. We deal with cases with people of different religious backgrounds. So it doesn't matter if they're pagan, Wiccan, Christian, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. We help whoever we can. And if it's something that we can't handle, we reach out to try to help people. We had a case this year, a residential case, where the family was Muslim, and they had a negative entity, a jinn, that was plaguing the family. And we really don't deal with a lot of jinn and don't know much about that religious belief. But I have friends that are, who told me, this is how you handle it. This is the chant or the prayer that you need to do. And it was actually something very simple. He said, he goes, if you have to, just get on YouTube, pull this up, and let it play in the household. Let it play it over and over and over again. And he mentioned buy Egyptian musk to burn in the house, and that's what we did. We went through there, and of course it's all faith based. It doesn't matter your religious belief; it's all about faith. Go in there with positive energy and faith, and whatever was in there, we ran it out of the house. And there was a portal there. We were able to seal the portal, and the family ended up getting some peace. Unfortunately, with that particular case, it was bad for the family. Linda just commented that was a case that she had that they dealt with, and I think Linda's group, when they first dealt with it, it was pretty nasty to them. But it's all about reaching out to people and making good contacts. And my friend, he was very happy to know that I wasn't closed-minded. I'm very open-minded when it comes to people's different religious beliefs. Even though it's a little bit different from mine, it doesn't matter. Thank God we live in America where you can worship as you please, live as you please. There shouldn't be people telling you what you can and you cannot do. You have the right to freedom of religion, and we support that 100%. I think one of the greatest moments I ever had on a spiritual basis was I was down at Harlan's shop, and a Buddhist monk came into the shop, and all three of us sat down and we're talking about spiritual stuff, and all three of us had different points of view, and we just got along great. We were just talking, and I tell you what, the positive energy in your shop after that was just skyrocketing. It was very emotional, and there was no hate, full support for everybody. And it was weird. He just happened just to roam in there. He had his ceremonial cloaks and stuff on, and it was a great experience. And Harley can probably agree. It was a it was a great experience. And we deal with a lot of people in the field that are either Catholic or it doesn't matter. We work with everybody. Pretty much everybody's pretty open-minded when it comes to religion. But when you're investigating the paranormal, sometimes some hauntings may be because of curses or different things, spell work or whatever. It doesn't happen a lot, but on occasion it does, and we help the families deal with that. I think a lot of times some of the cases we go on, like the client, especially if it's a residential, the client just needs some type of closure. We may deal with somebody that suffered abuse in the past. Their haunting maybe because of a traumatic event that happened to them as a child. Me and Harlan had tons of cases like that from people being assaulted or abused, and this negative entity is just piggybacking generation after generation after generation, and we were able to stop this thing from harassing their family and the next generation of the family. So I think that's the greatest part about it. We get to help people. So
Shelly said,
just for people that are listening that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna go ahead and finish what you were going to say. I was going to say
for people that are listening that haven't that don't really know me. Before Kel asked me to join the team, when he restarted this team, I was actually a consultant for most of the paranormal teams around Oklahoma. They would consult with me on cases and things that they needed a little help with. And then when Kel asked me to come on, I was lead investigator for a long time, until we kind of changed things up, brought a few more people in, and then it's manifested to what it is now. But the thing is myself, Kel knows me as pagan, but I've studied all of the biblical texts for all of the different religions, including Buddhism. I consider myself omnis. which look it up. You'll understand when you look it up. But an omnist is a belief in all religions have some truth, and I just want to love everybody, and that's where it's all at. You can't have fear when you have love in your heart and love for all. So there's no fear. Just wanted to share that with you guys.
So we'll go ahead and go to the next question. I know Shelly asked this a while back. What's the worst kind of person to go on a road trip with? Like bathroom breaks and music choices and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest. Me and Kel, we're pretty tight. So we talk a lot during the trips. We'll listen to my best friend Blake Shelton, or whatever he decides to play. Blake, if you're watching this, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Uh,
David Payne, if you're watching, you can go stunt with this.
True statement. But we'll listen to music every once in a while. We'll talk a lot. For me, I'm just being honest. I guess probably for me the worst. I don't mind bathroom breaks. I really don't mind music. Worst person for me though to go on a road trip with is if you're not like paying gas money or whatnot. That's probably it for me.
Yeah, we usually, with our team, we expect everybody to chip in and do their part. And a lot of people always ask me, like, "Wow, Cal, you got a huge team. Why do you have a huge team?" Well, most of our members can only do part-time investigations. We constantly have people coming and going off the team due to different reasons. It's kind of cool though. Like Linda's group has been together. She's got a small group. They've been together forever. No changes. They all are on the same wavelength, and they go out and do their investigations and do their thing. The teams do change sometimes. That people come and go for either good reasons or bad reasons. Our team gets a little bit of both. 12 years for Linda. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's it fluctuates with our team, but I think we got a really good team now. I think we kind of weeded out, some of the bad eggs, and I don't want to call them bad eggs. I don't know.
I will.
The proper deal. When I run PIO, we don't deal with drama or stuff like that. I don't deal with paranormal team drama. I'll just tell you how it is. If you call me up complaining on another team, I just don't want to hear it.
We don't have time for that.
Don't want to get involved with it. If a team member is stirring up drama, I'll give them a warning. If that warning doesn't work, unfortunately, I gotta just let them go because we don't have time for that.
Nope.
We got bigger things to do, and it just doesn't.
Well, and I'll be honest. I'll speak on this too. And you're absolutely right, Shelly. And I'm not being a jerk or anything like that when I say this. Me and Kel were pretty tight, but we're different at the same time, right? He's pretty nice. Don't come at me with crap. I promise you, I'm not the one. I'll tell you straight up, I'm a hothead.
Well, I kind of feel like too that when I bring someone on the team, they're supposed to be here for a reason. Mm-hmm. But when that time comes where they need to move on, there's a reason behind it. Mm-hmm. Either for good reasons or bad reasons. For some reason, I like to follow where the spirit leads me. And if it's time to let somebody go, and here's the deal: if I got an investigator that says, "Hey, Kel, I want to branch out on my own and start my own team," you got my full support. If they want to transfer to a different team and see how that's going to work out, hey, you got my full support. Do it positive, don't do it negative. It usually just works out. Now, I've had team members stab me in the back before or do shady stuff, and it breaks your heart, but it's just, I figured, well, they just need to move on. It's just part of life. I don't hold no grudges against them. I figured things happen for a reason. It's even with working with different paranormal teams. I know we get a bunch of paranormal teams that want to work with us, and I feel bad that we can't work with everybody. We try our best, but it gets difficult sometimes. So Shelley says the pieces that didn't fit. Yeah, pretty much. I always feel like there's reasons for it. We'll may never know what the reasons are, but we just roll with it. I gotta say, you guys are a great team. Busting your can every time we go on investigations. We have fun.
All the teams watching us, Hit, Linda, you guys are amazing. EVP, you guys are amazing. Black Cauldron, if y'all are still on here, y'all are amazing. Anybody that's on here that we have not yet worked with, like I said earlier, come on. You guys are awesome too. We're down to work with y'all,
Oh yeah, we love Paranormal Unity. We like working with other teams, and you learn so much off each other because everybody does something different when they're investigating. But in the end, we're all trying to get the same thing, same type of evidence and stuff. So, but we're getting ready to wrap it up. It's almost 9:00, and so anything else from you guys you want to talk about or anything like that? Oh,
thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you, everybody that's tuned in.
I hope y'all had fun.
We're going to try to do more of these if we can. Now, normally we hit it pretty hard on our investigations January through the end of October. Unfortunately, with me, I work in the retail field, so November and December, I'm busy, and I feel like the team needs a break and they need to spend time with their families during the holiday season. I think they need to be with their families during that time. They need to be with their parents or their grandparents or whatever. That's where they need to be, and then we pick it back up, weather permitting, at the beginning of the new year.
We're gonna hit it hard.
So I want to try to do more of these live feeds, get the team on here so we can talk about stuff and talk with you guys, and we might invite some friends to join on the live feed. I got to figure out this new system, StreamYard, so we'll probably be hooking up with you, Shelly or Blake, to figure out how the system works. I think we get like a free promotion right now, but I figure we'll probably have to pay for it later. But I like this system. I tried to figure out how to do it on Facebook to do a live feed, but I got a feeling the way it worked, it didn't want to put us all in there. I could probably talk with me and one other person, but that was it. And it's like we have to have a better system. I like this a whole lot better. I think it works out great, and we can just with this, we can get everybody on board and bring in a bunch of people. And heck, you never know who'll be on there. I could always ask Chris and Mike from the Ray Tracers if they want to join us and talk about their investigations. I'm sure they'd be happy to do it. EVP, all the other paranormal teams, I'm sure they'll be happy to join in on this and just talk.
I would wink. I'd wink, hint, but I can't wink. So,
and just one request: whenever we're going to be doing this, can we do it about a half hour earlier? That way we're because it's like I get up at 2 a.m. in the morning on the weeknights.
Right.
So I'm up way past my bedtime.
Right. And I noticed Willow disappeared. She went to put them babies down. So.
Well, there's only one left. Phoenix was still trying to cuddle down, so the rest of them are already asleep. It's time for me to go to bed too.
Alrighty. Again, everybody that's tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in on this live feed and our podcast here. We appreciate it. Like I say, we're going to try to do more and chat with you more. And again, we got a lot of awesome locations coming up. When we do our live feeds, I want to put it out there. We're not doing it to be famous. That's not the purpose of it. We're doing it for educational purposes. We love it when you guys join in on the live feed. You can ask questions, and we can ask the spirits the question. You've been watching the live feed, and you can say, hey, can you ask this spirit what its name is?
Yeah.
And we'll ask that question for you. And then we'll try to do some training from these live sites. You guys get to watch us investigate with the greatest people in the world, and get to see us go to all these cool locations. We're excited about it, And again, we're not doing it for clout or views. We're just doing it because it's something that we love. We enjoy doing it. We love investigating. It's fun. We have a great time. We go out and we help people, and that's what it's all about. It's educational purposes. Besides the ghost hunting part, you know, we got spiritual stuff too, and yeah.
And I'm not done. I'm not done by any means, by a long shot, getting stuff. I talked to people today. So when I'm at work, I'm working, but I'm working for PIO also at the same time. That's what I do. That's how I book this stuff. So I am definitely not done. But with that being said, I hope you guys had fun. Hopefully we didn't bore you too bad. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Oh, I definitely had fun.
Did you have fun?
I
still
had
wish I would've
fun,
worn my
and you
makeup.
guys are the best.
I appreciate that.
And we love you guys.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
There you go.
Hey, hey. All right, guys. Have a good night. See you on the flippity flop.
Bye.
Hi.
Oh, until the